Well, hi, Jackie. How are you?
I'm very good. And you, it's nice seeing your smiling face again.
SU. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time and agreeing to meet with me. I was looking forward to chatting with you anyways. So thanks for jumping online amidst all that's going on in our lives.
Yes, yes. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into our discussion in our interview, in our chat about anatomy and yoga. So I
Yes.
want to know, when did you first become interested in teaching anatomy and yoga?
My first introduction was with Judith Lassiter when I first started doing yoga. And she made it to me, impressed me that it's very important when you're teaching to really have some understanding of the body. And then when I started teachers training, our teacher for anatomy was Marcia, and I can't remember her last name, Marcia, who was a professor at Stanford. And she taught anatomy 1, 2, and physiology 1 and 2. And we went to Stanford to study on the cadavers. And my family, my father is a doctor, my mother was in science, and it was just, I guess, always there, and that just brought it out. And it helps me to understand. I have to understand things instead of just taking it as, well, this is the way it happens.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I would say because of, Iyengar yoga, I became more interested in the, anatomy of the body also.
Hmm.
So flexibility, which is mentioned in your upcoming workshop, flexibility is often such a misconstrued notion in that a lot of people who do not practice typically think yoga is only meant for flexible people or that yoga is meant to just make one more flexible. Can you comment on that misconception?
Well, the advertising or pictures that you see in yoga poses are usually extreme poses, and so the average person see that and say, "Oh, I can't do that." And so I think it's because, and especially lately, the posers, the people who are doing the poses in the advertising, is very flexible, almost to the gymnastics type of flexibility. Now, flexibility yoga is to bring more flexibility to the body because as we age, not just saying going into the senior years, but as we grow up in age, if the body is not moving, the muscles will become tight and the joints will lose some of its natural flexibility. So using the word flexibility is, for me, is to bring more movement into the joints. And what asana does is, in especially Iyengar yoga, we tend not to have a set series of poses, but we have each class is a little different because it will take us through natural ranges of movement, which anatomy is very important because if you understand how anatomy, the body works, when you are doing your asana, we can move with ease and health through those range of movements, and we bring flexibility, maybe never extreme, but we have to keep a more of a flexibility in our asana.
Yeah, makes so much sense.
Mm.
So, in your upcoming workshop on the hip joint, which I believe you've taught in previous years, and I don't know if you remember how many times or when you first started teaching it, but what draws you to focus a workshop on this one particular area of the body?
Well, it's just this one particular area for this workshop. I teach other particular areas. So it just happened to be this particular hip that we're teaching now. And the reason I focus on specific areas of movement is for us to understand different, how different joints move. And our hip joint is one of the bigger joints in the body. It is one of the most flexible, give you the greater range of movement inside the body. So understanding how that joint moves, even though it's a ball and socket joint, there's a wide range of movement, one of the most wide range of movement at that joint compared to the shoulder joint or the shoulder complex. So that's the reason I chose it. But again, next one is going to be on the knee. So you can ask that same question.
Right. You have one coming up for the knee and another one on twist. Yeah.
Twisting,
So on
pelvic
this,
floor. Yeah.
yeah. So on this upcoming workshop, what can students expect to be doing and learning?
Well, first there will be a PowerPoint presentation so that you can just have a general understanding of the muscles that affects the movement at this joint. And then we take, with that understanding, then we go into the asana, the basic movement, and how this movement is carried in our asana poses. And some of the jargon that is used to understand the jargon that's used that along with the anatomical movement, because we can use words where the body doesn't really move that way or the students don't really understand. So having a PowerPoint of the muscles and how they move and then experience it in the asana class, then that's what they will experience. The class is not a therapeutic class, even though all of the asanas are therapeutic, but it's not advertised as a therapeutic class. So if you have extreme knee problems or extreme hip problems, this would not be the class to come to get a therapeutic understanding. It's the class to come to understand how these joints move, how the different muscles of this joint affects this joint. So that's what they will be learning.
Okay, well, great. Well, thanks for clarifying also the intent of the workshop. I think that will be helpful to students who are thinking about signing up, and I hope many do. Anything else you'd like to add, Jackie?
No, I hope to see you. Whoever comes, I'll be happy to see you. And you're always welcome. I always welcome people to ask questions through my workshop. I always, and that's important.
Okay, well, thank you so much again, Jackie. It's been
Thank
lovely as usual chatting with you.
you.
Bye.
Okay, bye.